Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reagan and this is my channel, Ray Reads, and today I'm going to be giving you guys recommendations of romance series for you to binge. Yeah. So the books I've chosen for this video are all series books, so they're not like standalone series, they're like actual series, so the story and the same characters will continue throughout the other books. So I just wanted you guys to know that going into it. Once you start on one, you're gonna want to read the rest of the books in the series. So the first book series I have for this video has to be the OG, the book series that made me love reading, and that is the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I've talked about this a couple times on my channel. I freaking love this book series. This is all 3 books in one copy, but this book series follows a girl named Belly who basically goes to a beach house with her mom and her brother every summer to meet up with her mom's best friend Susanna and her 2 sons, and they just spend every single summer together, and basically it's like a love triangle between Belly and the 2 sons of Susanna, and it's just so good. I pretty much forced my roommate to read this, and she read it in like a month, which is super good for her. She's not a reader at all, but she read all 3 books in a month and she freaking loved it. She was like crying and she was like texting me all about it. So if you haven't read this series, you should pick it up. It is so good. It is YA, but I think in the 2nd and 3rd book she's like in college, so she is a little bit older in the 2nd and 3rd book. Next up, I have the Thoughtless series by S.E. Stevens. This book series is just so amazing. I freaking love this. I mean, I love all the books that I'm recommending to you guys because I wouldn't recommend a book to you guys if I didn't absolutely love it. But this book series in particular is just so good. This book follows Kira, and I literally remember her name, which is crazy. If you've watched my videos before, I forget everyone's names, but I remember her name and I remember every person's name in this freaking book series because it was so good. Anyways, this book is about Kira, who moves across the country with her boyfriend Denny, and basically he has to go on this like job work thing that's like in Canada, like an hour away. So she basically is staying in the house that they moved into, which is like his old best friend's house, and he's living with them, and he's like this pop star in this band, this like local band, and basically her and Kellen, who is the guy, kind of just start to hit it off while Denny's gone. It is kind of a, not a love triangle, maybe a love triangle, it's a love triangle, kinda, I don't know, but it's so good. It does involve cheating though, so if you are like not down with the cheating, then I would not recommend this, but it was so good, steamy, fun, just a really good book, and I just like the pop star kind of aspect to this book. I really enjoyed that aspect. But there are 3 books in the series, Thoughtless, Effortless, and Reckless, I think is the 3rd book, and they're all just so good. I actually haven't read the 3rd book, but I'm recommending these to you guys knowing that the whole series is just amazing and you should just take my word for it. I want to get to the 3rd book so bad, but I think I want to reread the first 2 and then read the 3rd one again. So anyways, you should pick this up. It's great. It's an adult romance. There's no other words for me to say. It's just really good. Next up, I have one of my favorites, and that is the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. This is the first book in the series. It's called Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. This series is amazing. This is a paranormal romance book series about vampires and humans, and it is just so amazing. The first book is not the best, but it does open up the series quite nicely, and you can continue on reading with the rest of the books that are amazing. I think the 2nd one is my favorite so far. I've only read the first 3. There's like 20 in this series, and I'm pretty sure it's like still going, but it is so good, and it's kind of like one of those really good bingeable romance series because there are so many, but they're also like pretty small, so you can really fly through them. Yeah, my book is bent. I'm still mad about it, but it's okay. Anyways, this book series is very good. This book in particular follows, I think his name is Wrath and Beth, and Beth is a human, but she's about to turn into a vampire, and Wrath is supposed to help her through her transformation. So yeah, that's pretty much where their romance takes off. It's really good. I think I gave this one 4 stars, but I gave the next one 5 stars, and then the 3rd one 5 stars as well. They're both really, really good, really entertaining. Just the kind of book that just sucks you in and you're just really enjoying yourself. You're having a great time. Is the writing, is the book itself very good? Maybe not, but do you have a great time? Yes, so you should pick this one up immediately if you haven't. Next up is a book series that is very close to my heart. I actually read this book during the height of quarantine. I was stuck in my house back in March, and this is the book series that I binge read, and that is All the Pretty Things by Monica James. The first book is called Bad Saint. I don't remember, oh no, the second one's called Fallen Saint. The third one's called Forever My Saint. I'm not totally sure. But it is 3 books in this series that are just amazing, okay? This is a captive kidnapper romance kind of. Basically, it follows this girl, don't remember her name, but she goes to her honeymoon at the very beginning of the book. She just got married, she's on her honeymoon, and she gets kidnapped by this group of men, and they take her on this ship and they just like set out to sea. And the guy who is like over all of these people that kidnapped her basically strikes up this romance with her, but it's kind of like weird because he's her kidnapper. But it is very, very good, and you just need to read it. Obviously, again, it follows the same characters and their storyline throughout the first 3 books, and it is just amazing. I think the second book was actually my favorite, which is really weird. I feel like in 3-book series, the second book is always just not good, but I really enjoyed the second book a lot. So definitely pick up this series, especially if you like darker romances. This is definitely more dark than just your average Joe romance. Definitely darker than all the other books that I have presented to you yet. But if you like dark romances and you want a bingeable series, pick this one up. Also, I'm pretty sure Monica James just came out with a spin-off series from side characters from this book, and I really want to get to that because of course, I love this one. So next up, I have to recommend a Colleen Hoover book. What would I be doing if I didn't? I have to recommend to you guys Maybe Someday. This is a duet. This book is so good. The first one's Maybe Someday. The second one is Maybe Now. These are some of my favorite Colleen Hoover books, and I'm not going to talk about them for super long because you guys have probably heard me talk about it a million times on this channel, but this book series is amazing. This book follows Sydney, and she has to basically move in with this guy she doesn't really know, and she moves in with him, and he is writing music for his brother's band, and she helps him write the lyrics for the songs, and basically it's their romance, but it is way more than that. But I can't give you any other information because it will all be spoilers. So you should just go into this pretty blind. It is really amazing. Such a touching story. There's so much to be unpacked in here. It's heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, amazing, steamy. We love it, everything about it. So pick up this book and then pick up Maybe Now. Also, side note, if you love the connection between music and books, you definitely want to pick up this book. A lot of times authors will write playlists that they listen to while writing the book for inspiration. This book, actually, the characters that write the music, Colleen Hoover got Griffin Peterson to actually record the music, and he helped her write it, and he recorded the music, and it's on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube, and you can actually listen to the songs that the characters create in the book, which I just love that aspect so much. It just really creates a blend between music and books, which are both really big passions of mine. So I love that aspect of this book. When I listen to the songs, I feel like I'm listening to Sydney and Ridge's music that they created together, and it's just a warm feeling that like I've never had with any other music. So please check this book series out and check out the music. Next up, it would not be a bingeable romance series video if I did not talk about A Court of Thorns and Roses. This book series is just something different. If you have not heard about this, which if you haven't, I would be really shocked. This is a book series that has taken the world by storm, and I just kind of joined the Bookstagram booktube community very recently, and so when I heard about this book, I knew I needed to pick it up. This is a fantasy romance. If you've never read fantasy, you're going into it knowing that it's going to be a little different. It's not humans, it's humans and fairies, which are a part of this fantasy land. But basically, this book follows Farah, who is a human girl who lives with her dad and 2 sisters, and she has to hunt to bring them food home, basically. And one night she's out hunting and she kills a wolf, and later that week a fairy guy comes and he's like, yo, you killed a wolf, and it wasn't a wolf, it was actually a fairy who looked like a wolf, and so now you have to come back to my kingdom, back to my land to like pay your penance for that. So basically she goes with him, and that's kind of where the story takes off. Can't tell you guys anything else because that would be a spoiler. But this book series is so good. If you don't hear anything I say, just listen to this right now. This is a good book series. It's very good. There's just a lot going on, but there's romance, but there's like fairies and there's like wars, and it's just really good. You need to pick up this book series. I flew through this series. Actually, I haven't finished the third book, but very good series. Everyone says it's amazing. You should read it. And lastly, my last book recommendation for you guys is going to be the Something in the Way series by Jessica Hawkins. I read this book series during the reading rush, and you can watch that in my reading rush vlog if you'd like. But basically, I think this is a 4-book series, maybe 3. I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't really remember. But I do know that I've only read the first 2 books and half of the third. But I did want to recommend this book series to you guys if you like slow burn, a little bit more dragged out over time. And when I tell you it's slow, it's slow, okay? I don't even think the characters kiss in the first book. That's how slow it is. But it was really, really good and really addicting. It also is a forbidden romance, so know that going into it. There is a pretty large age gap between the heroine and the hero, and just know that if you're not comfortable with that, then I would stay clear of this book. But it is so good. It really took me by surprise. The end of the first book really shocked me and took the series in a whole different direction. But I will say, I think I enjoyed the second book better than the first because the first was just so slow. But basically, this book is about a girl, don't remember her name again, but she is just your average Joe, like 14-year-old girl. Her sister's like 17 or 18, and basically one day they meet this construction worker who's working on the house next to theirs, and she just has an instant attraction to him, and he's like 24. So anyways, he's like obviously like gonna stay away from her because she's like 14, but I think he just like finds, not that he finds her attractive, but he like feels a connection with her, and to stay a part of her life, he knows he can't do that or it'd be weird because he's 26 and she's like 14. So he starts to date her sister, who is like 18, I guess. And he dates her sister really to like keep around and be around the younger sister, who is the heroine of the story. And basically that's just where the story goes. So I can't tell you anything else, but just know it's really slow. It's a slow burn. It's gonna take a while, but it is worth it. It was a really good series, and I was enjoying it while I was reading it. I think I just got to the third book and was like, okay, I need a break. So I do intend picking this book series back up, but I wanted to also mention this book series because it is one that I really did enjoy, and I thought you guys might like it as well. So yeah, that is all of the book series that I have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something better.